While everyone's been paying attention to iPads and Surface tablets, something unexpected happened. Android tablets have actually gotten pretty good.
Samsung has a new tablet called the Samsung Galaxy Tab. A leaked shot of the device shows it alongside Samsung's new Galaxy S phone that will launch later in the US this year. Details are limited on the tablet, but it will have a 7-inch high-res display and a headphone jack at the top.
This is the home screen of the Samsung Galaxy Tab. As you can see, it's got a pretty nice display. It's an LCD display. Samsung took a little flack for not going for AMOLED, but they cited cost and power consumption concerns. Maybe we'll see one of those in future years. Here's the gadget for Facebook. If you want to add a new gadget, you can simply hold down on the screen. It will provide you with some options. We'll put a new widget, say the daily briefing perhaps, and it loads up pretty fast. One of the areas that Samsung likes to highlight is the Reader application. You can check out news if you like. There are a number of pages. The Tagesspiel here in Germany. Some tips poke up. You can zoom in. It's the real newspaper. It takes a minute for it to render a nicer version.
I've got in my hands the Samsung Galaxy Tab 2, and they're meant to be more affordable devices when they do come out at slightly lower price points than before. And also some of the features are reflective of that.
Tab 2 gives you a full ice cream sandwich experience with Samsung's TouchWiz UI layered on top of it. Unlike most budget tablets though, you do get a few extras. You get dual cameras, an option to expand your storage by up to 32 gigabytes in addition to the 8 gigabytes that are built in. And you also get an IR blaster that allows you to turn your tablet into a smart remote control. This is the 8-inch version of the Samsung Galaxy Tab 3. It's thin, light, and capable, and if you know anything about Samsung tablets, its features won't really surprise you. It's essentially a skinnier version of the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 without the S Pen stylus, of course. Multi-window, which allows you to run 2 concurrent apps, makes its way over from the Note line, and though it doesn't work as seamlessly with your finger as opposed to a stylus, it's still a welcome, useful feature for multitaskers. But it's still disappointing it doesn't work with every app.
Tab 3 10.1's fatal flaw is the location and high sensitivity of the menu and back buttons on the lower bezel. When holding the tablet in one hand, it's extremely easy to mindlessly graze the buttons and activate their function. The screen is responsive to touch, but performance was rather slow and often lagged.
The Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro 8.4-inch is the latest tablet to hit that tablet size sweet spot. It has a 2560 by 1600 resolution screen, a microSD expansion slot, an IR blaster so you can use it as a remote control, micro USB for charging, and file transfers as well. It's also thin and feels really comfortable in the hands, and I for one like the kind of pleathery backside, though it does attract a lot of grease.
The Galaxy Tab 4 8.0 is a simple, smooth performing slate, and like most Samsung tablets, it's packed with software features. But starting at $270, it's a bit overpriced. I really like the tablet's 8-inch size and design. The textured back is comfortable and gives it some grip support, but its plastic build feels a bit cheap. The capacitive buttons on the bottom bezel are easy to accidentally trigger, which can be frustrating if streaming a long video, but they're not as intrusive during gaming, browsing, or reading.
The 7-inch display has a 1280 by 800 pixel resolution. That's obviously lower than higher-end models, but it actually looks pretty good. Colors don't look dull and stay true even when you hold the tablet at weird angles. It's a little glossy, but keep it out of direct sunlight and you'll be fine. There are a pair of cameras, 1.3 megapixels on the front, 3 megapixels on the rear. Neither one is very good.
Samsung's extensive family of gadgets gets a little bigger with 2 new Galaxy Tab S slates, and those looking for a great movie watching tablet with plenty of other virtues are going to find the pair a worthy high-end investment. In landscape orientation, the 8.4-incher suffers from a button-filled bottom bezel, with capacitive buttons that are easy to accidentally trigger, and in order to avoid blocking the speakers, your thumb has to haphazardly hang out by the back button. The 10.4-inch model's slim side bezels don't provide a lot of thumb space either, and for these reasons, I found the cases to be an essential accessory to fully enjoying long movies. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S2 are 2 of the most impressive tablets I've seen all year. They're super fast performers with vivid HD screens, yet their design is my favorite thing about them. They're two of the thinnest tablets around, and they're so lightweight, they're basically as easy as a magazine to carry around. The texture of the plastic back feels like something in between rubber and suede. It's really pleasant to touch and makes them ultra comfy to hold. My favorite is the 8-inch model, since it's super easy to use in one hand and conveniently portable.
When you see the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro S, you might think, yeah, it's another Surface clone. There's a big difference here, actually. The Microsoft Surface sells its keyboard cover, which you really need separately. Here it's included. Now, why is that a big deal? That's because with the Samsung Galaxy, you're all in for $899, while it's $1,000 plus if you get a Surface Pro 4, plus the keyboard cover, which is $129. The Samsung Galaxy, it's incredibly thin and light. There's just a single USB-C port on it, and there's no fans inside because it's got an Intel Core M processor in there, so they can really keep it super slim.
Samsung spiffied up the updated model with a classy glass back panel instead of a plastic one. The stylish new design really cements the Galaxy Tab S3 as a high-end tablet. It runs Android 6.0 and features a stunningly sharp AMOLED resolution on its 9.7-inch screen. The tablet comes with the stylus, which Samsung still calls the S Pen. There is some software integration that makes it easy and even fun to use, but it's not as fully integrated as the Samsung Note series.
When it comes to premium tablets, more and more people want one that's good for entertainment and getting some work done. So Samsung brought a desktop-style interface to Android with the new $650 Galaxy Tab S4. Display is larger than the Tab S3's, but Samsung kept the overall size about the same by using slimmer bezels. But again, entertainment is only part of the picture, since Samsung added DeX support, which it has on its latest Galaxy phones, and gives you a desktop-like interface to work in.
The S6 outdoes last year's model with a quicker, more powerful processor, more flexible storage, expandable up to 1 TB using a microSD card, and new DeX mode updates. It also streamlined sign-ins with on-screen fingerprint scanning and 2 tap gestures to wake the tablet.
Samsung may have streamlined a little too far by removing their headphone jack, but they tried to make up for it with the addition of quad speakers and their dual rear camera.
The new Samsung Tab S7 and S7 Plus, I think they show me how adding exactly the right keyboard and touchpad support can really help a tablet feel much more like a traditional computer. One of the cool tricks is you can now wirelessly take your DeX screen and throw it to another compatible display. I will say I like the screen on this device a lot. The smaller, less fancy Tab S7 version doesn't have it, but the Tab S7 Plus has an AMOLED screen. It's 12.4 inches, really pops. I've gotten kind of spoiled by OLED with OLED TVs, the occasional OLED laptop. If you're gonna have a high-end device, I feel that's a must-have these days.
The Galaxy Tab S8 starts at $700, while the Tab S8 Plus starts at $900, and the Ultra model starts at $1,100. All 3 new Android tablets come with high-resolution displays, faster new processors, and a premium metal design. But Samsung is really focused on the cameras this time around as more people are working from home. They all run on Android 12, they all also have Qualcomm's new Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chip, and they all come with an S Pen stylus. Plus, they can also boost their screen's refresh rates up to 120 Hz for smoother scrolling. And on top of that, they all have a dual lens rear camera system that includes a 13 megapixel main camera and a 6 megapixel ultra wide camera.
First of all, Samsung made it easy this year. They're all basically the same tablet. You pick the size. But the display is great. The feel of the tablet is really nice and thin aluminum. Feels really sturdy. There's a USB-C port. There's no headphone jack. There is expandable micro SD card storage, which is nice. I already appreciate that all of the tablets have pretty similar features. The display looks fantastic, and it has an included S Pen, which is great because a lot of tablets don't come with styluses. The downsides, it's expensive, and Android is still something that doesn't work exactly the same from tablet to tablet to tablet. That's not Samsung's problem, but it means that you may want to look at other options to see how Android works with tablets because that seems to still be changing.